Keep believing, Craig. It's us against all odds. So there was a sign last night that I watched when the Lions, they were showing the clips of the Detroit Lions, and it was ahead of the game today. And somebody in the audience or in the stands held up a sign that said Detroit against everyone. And I kind of feel like that's how we are this season, because the referees and the PGMOL are doing us no favours. Neville and the other band of clowns and Sky letting them away and justifying and not calling out these disgusting decisions, and Neville getting away with saying blatant things for us getting penalties and saying no, they were cheating or they went to ground or they shouldn't have been. He's just stop it, because you don't have the nuts to call out the real problems. Manchester City, the PGMOL. Where's the courage for that? Nothing to say on these things, Gary or Jamie or anybody else. I'm sick of it. We put faith in the mainstream media to say the things that we as the fans have questions about and discuss them, and they don't do it. And if they do it, they're immediately shown bias. And I'm sick of it. So I don't want to listen to them anymore. I don't care what he has to say, what Neville or any of these guys have to say, until they grow a backbone and actually ask the questions that we want answered. I don't care. Was there any VAR in the game today? Because I honestly couldn't tell. There was, but God knows what they were doing. I don't want to go into it again because I'm sick of talking about Paul Tierney and VAR. But, you know, you've seen it yourself again today. You've seen two decisions that, whether you think they were right or wrong, neither of them asked the ref to go to the monitor again. So he's not even putting it into the ref's hands again. He's taken it upon himself to once again say there's nothing to see here. So what can I say other than it can't keep being a coincidence? The statistics can't keep being just an anomaly. Somebody needs to really, really have a think about this and say, does it look good on the league? Does it look good on officiating? Does it look good on the PGMOL? Does it look good on the people that are subjected to it, the stakeholders of the league? And as I keep saying over and over again, when it just affects one club each week or from one game, it's easy for it to be brushed under the carpet because people move on, other games happen. But he's always there. He's always at the scene of the crime. And if it walks like a duck and it smells like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's most likely a duck. And I'm calling duck. Watching this club as long as I have, I'm used to the media nonsense, but this season feels different. It's almost every day after every game, someone's coming for the club and the players. So, Declan, I said this the other day, mate. I was watching Sky Sports the other day, and they had a journalist on. I can't remember what newspaper he was from, but he was talking about Salah being out, and he was talking about how it might impact Liverpool. And I kid you not, he said, if Liverpool want to chase down Manchester City, and I just thought, excuse me? Chase them down? To the best of my recollection, we're top of the league. So if there's any chasing down to be done, it's us that needs to be chased. And it's almost like that they feel like there's an inevitability to City winning the league title again. And that we should just accept their fate. And that, City are going to have a good second half of the season, so we might as well all just roll over and give up. Well, thankfully, these guys aren't in that dressing room with Jurgen Klopp. And Klopp and the boys haven't got the memo. Because it's in our hands. There's a long way to go and a lot of football to be played. But I don't know why we are seemingly the hated team. Why everybody that isn't a Liverpool fan would rather sit back and allow potential destruction of the game just to stop us winning something. Or because they don't like Liverpool fans. It baffles me. Paul Tierney has to be investigated, said old man Digu. Look, I'll keep saying it and I'm going to repeat it again. I am clever enough to paint a picture. But a man who is clever enough is Mr. Paul Tompkins of the Tompkins Times, who doesn't let his own feelings interpret the data. So Google Paul Tompkins Paul Tierney article. It's a free article. Read it for yourselves and it lays it out. It lays out the differential between Tierney reffing us and other teams, the differential between what other referees give us and what Tierney gives us, and most importantly, and the one that really opened my eyes, was that he was given more Liverpool games than any other official last season. and a good bit more. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but have a read of it, and then you will be left in no doubt that we're not imagining it, we're not inventing it, and we're not crying just for the sake of giving out. It's beyond a joke. And I think everybody has to be open to the fact that it might not be corruption, but whether it's corruption or it's an inbuilt bias or dislike or even a subconscious bias, it doesn't matter. The decisions are wrong every time. If you don't do your job properly in the real world, you get sacked. Yeah, all we get is an apology. See, here's what gets me. Why isn't Neville screaming about this? Why isn't Carragher screaming about this? Why is Neville telling everybody not to be writing to the PGMOL and talk to them behind the scenes? No, Gary, this needs to be done publicly because it's shaming on the whole league and the integrity of the game. And we all know referees have a tough job, but we're not just talking about all referees here, mate. We're talking about a very select group that clearly have something against certain groups or certain teams. And every club will have their own official. You know, for us, it's Tierney. Ask Chelsea fans how they feel about Anthony Taylor. And they'll all have their own stories. Ask the Wolves manager how he feels about VAR in general after his decisions that they haven't gotten this season. Did you see the challenge on Jota on the line? Yeah, a blatant foul. So people go, but it was a soft one. And? Doesn't matter. There is no law in the game that says it's a soft foul or not. If it's a foul, it's a foul. If it happens to be on the line, it's a penalty. But no, nothing. Not even a referral. There's a reason why the United stand has so many viewers, and why AFTV has so many viewers, and why we have so many viewers. And there's a reason for this, because fans are turning to other fans for actual conversations about topics that we're not seeing covered enough in the mainstream. And I find it very questionable that people who are around the game, have played it at the highest level, have maybe coached, certainly do TV work, and that they aren't disgusted by the same stuff that the rest of us are being disgusted about by or questioning. And you don't know if it's because their hands are tied behind the back or what they can say or can't say on TV, but somebody has to stand up for football fans. Somebody has to question the integrity of what we're seeing. And somebody has to demand answers. And Neville telling clubs not to write to the PGMOL is not helping anything. All it's doing is strengthening the position and the hand of these inept officials. Here's an idea. Can we not just start a petition for the Saudis to give Paul Tierney the big job over there? I'm sure, Paul Tierney could do a fantastic job in Saudi Arabia running PGMOL or their version of it, or running VAR, or give them Howard Webb's job over there. I mean, I'll pay for his ticket if that helps. What are you saying, Saudi? Any chance we can get Paul Tierney over there? Get rid of him out of our league where he's absolutely just a joke?